Toronto, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about how to get ready for the spring and summer without causing injuries. So at this time of year, a lot of people are going into gardening and yard cleanup and so forth. And some of the tips I'm going to be talking about is based on actual stories I've heard from patients over the last couple of weeks of how they've injured themselves trying to get ready in their yard and backyard. So step number one, we need to warm up. This is a common mistake we often do. We don't warm up before we get into some physical activity. So one of the things that you want to do, even if you go for a little walk around your backyard or around the block or whatever the case may be, or in place, and you just want to move around, get the body moving and hustling, bring up the knees, get the heart rate going. Do that for a few minutes or a quick 10-minute walk around the block, okay? Then some other stretch. You got to let your body know that you're getting ready to do some exercise. So simple stuff. You hold the stretch for about 15 seconds or so. You don't bounce, you don't jerk yourself. You're not trying to obviously cause injury. So this allows the body, again, to stretch out those long muscles and getting ready for the activity. The upper arms is an important one, on your shoulders and so forth. So you can do any variety of things. Make sure you're stretching out the limbs and your joints. Another big one that we don't want to forget are the legs, right? Our hamstrings, muscles at the back. So you want to do some stretching. You try to reach for your toes as best you can. Again, don't bounce, all right? It's a nice controlled movement to stretch out the muscles. You want to hold each stretch for about 15 seconds if you can. Do it three to four times, okay? That's a really good one as well too. So you can stretch out the quads, the hamstrings, some stretching from side to side, some lunges and so forth, so that we get the big muscles in the lower limb stretched and ready to go for activity. So once again, just to summarize, before we get into the physical activity of the day, you want to warm up. You want to prepare the body for what it's about to encounter. So you warm up the body, you do some stretching for a few minutes and so forth, the big muscles, the back, twisting, the turning, and the legs and so forth. The key thing is you want to work smarter and not harder. This time of year, another common activity a lot of people are doing are cleaning their yards. That involves some raking. Again, another potential source of injuries. So here's a couple tips. Number one, you want to make sure that you're not overreaching when you begin to do your raking. Keep your strokes nice and clean and short, okay? Number two, you want to change sides. So don't always be using the same muscle, but switch to the other side as well as you begin to rake and bring the items closer to you. Keep everything close in towards the bag that you're going to be filling, okay? Then when you get to that point, then you come down nice and close and you get the bag, the items, and you put them into your bag. Now, as it relates to the bag, you don't want to overfill it, because if you overfill it, it's going to be hard to lift. And if it's hard for you to lift, it's going to be hard for the men and women who have to lift it for us and put it in the bag. Once you roll it up, then using proper lifting techniques, you're going to bend at the hip and knees, grab the bag, lift with your legs, and take it to the curb. Now, in some cases, even better than having to do it yourself, especially if you can invest in some good young muscles and young health to come along and do some of that work for you. Lifting together, teamwork makes the dream work. Work smarter, not harder. I'm going to share with you a story which I think might be very helpful. Earlier this week, I had a patient. She went to her favorite garden center and she bought 20 25-liter bags of soil. When she drove home, she then had to unload it from her vehicle and take it all the way around to her backyard. Sure enough, at the end of that, her back was killing her when she came into the office. I'm going to give you some tips to see how you can avoid this from happening to you. So, after you go to your favorite garden center, you're going to unload the items. What you want to do is you want to bring the items close to you as much as possible. When you're transporting it, if you have any tools, something with some wheels, it could be a wheelbarrow, it could be a shopping cart, or it could be even an old wagon that you used to have for the kids and the grandchildren. Great tools to help you move something heavy from A to B. Bring the item close to you, and then you're gonna lift and unload properly. Drop it into the bag. Again, same thing, just bring it close bend, lift, and using your legs and hips, you unload it properly. Again, if you can invest in some good young health to help you move the items, that's even better too. Always remember, teamwork makes the dream work. I know what you guys are thinking. I didn't know Dr. Morgan had a green thumb. Well, I don't. But I do know a couple things about how to move safely and properly to minimize the risk of injury. Now, once you've got your garden supplies and so forth down to where you're going to be planting and digging up soil and so forth, you want to do it properly and safely without injuring your spine. What you don't want to do is to do this, where you're bending over, arching the back, straining the back, and you're there for hours and hours trying to de-weed and get things out. Okay? You don't want to do that. It's going to hurt your back. And I know some of you love and can spend the whole day in the backyard de-weeding, planting, and so forth. Best yet, when you're getting close to the ground, if you can get something to make it easier for you. So for example, I have a little wagon like this that has some tools. This particular one actually has a compartment where you can keep some supplies. This allows you to sit comfortably close to the ground, and you can do whatever it is you need to do. Whether you're repotting, planting, pulling up weeds, it's a great way to do that. This could be whether it's in your backyard, on your balcony, or on your kitchen room table. You want to keep things close and tight and comfortable. If you don't have something like this, you can use some pillows. Okay? Pillows would be great, or a stool. Anything that's going to allow you to maintain your posture and be comfortable and close to the ground. If you're out there for hours at a time, all day long, you might need a hat, and of course, keep water. Keep yourself hydrated throughout the day as well. All these things are a couple of tips we hope will help prevent the likelihood of injuries as you get prepared for your spring and summer and have a great summer. Now, in the event, of course, should something happen, give us a call. We can help you recover and get back to the things that you love. Remember, work smarter, not harder. Thank you.